Hello, and in an episode that we are calling Trains, Cars, Motorbikes and Boats, this is I Know What You Did Last Summer, part 2. And just want to remind you what we've done in our holiday. We drove down to the south of France in our new Aston. We have a story about that. We picked up a Harley from the Harley Davidson dealership in, where was it?
Roquebrune-sur-Argens.
Roquebrune-sur-Argens. We then drove for 4 days around bits of France, which we'd never get to see if we hadn't got a motorbike. And we have posted them on social media if you want to have a look. And then we picked up our Harley. We picked up our Aston again and drove to a villa where we chilled. And then actually yesterday we took a boat out to Porquerolles Islands, which was an incredible experience. But we didn't get here without any hiccups, did we, darling?
We didn't, no. So we had a few challenges on the way to the holiday. And the most traumatic of which initially was a sartorial challenge for you.
Oh, God, yeah, we did. So you know what it's like when you haven't got anything to wear. And so when you haven't got anything to wear, it's always a bit of a crisis. And most women stand in their wardrobe and go, I haven't got anything to wear. And just as a caveat, I am actually employing or instructing Emma, who did the previous episode with us about what to wear and black, to come and have a look at how I should dress in terms of my colour and my style. But I had I don't know what to wear crisis, which was magnified by the fact that I needed something in the pannier, which is snuggy belt, so big. And I wanted something that was elegant to wear in the day with flip-flops or trainers, but suitable to put a pair of wedges on and go out for a gorgeous dinner in the evening. And I found something, and it's a jumpsuit from Reformation, which was too short. So I took it into
But which you were extremely pleased with.
I loved it.
You thought it was a magical, this would work for everything.
Because I looked slim in it as well, which is lovely.
And you looked slim.
Yeah. So anyway, I needed it to be lengthened, so I took it into the local, what are they called? Alteration shop. And asked them to make it longer. And went to pick it up, and it wasn't there. And this was a couple of days before we were leaving. And what they discovered was that there's some woman who'd come in a little bit before me, had a massive pile of amending. I think there were 4 or 5 articles that she had, and sadly, they had lumped it together with that, and she took it. Initially, they thought that she had taken it by mistake, and they hoped that we all hoped that she'd bring it back. But when they looked on their CCTV cameras, they found that she had clocked it as she was going out, liked the look of it,
and kept it.
Yeah. I mean, they said that there was a change on her face when she saw it. And as of the day before we left, they were contacting the police. Now, part of me is hoping that she will be, she will be found. But I mean, they've got better things to do than find a jumpsuit that was.
So that was an emotional crisis for about really 3 days.
Because I couldn't replace
unconsolable.
it in time. I couldn't replace it in time for the holiday because it takes 3 to 5 working days, and we were going the day after we discovered it was never coming back. Now, the alteration shop, amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, he worked so hard to try and find where it had gone, and eventually found it, and has promised to replace it, pay for it to be replaced, and to obviously do the alterations again for me free of charge. So hopefully when I get back...
But you have to get a quick backup to take on holiday.
Yeah, I didn't like the backup very much. But anyway, so he has replaced it, but we'll replace it. It's
when you get back from holiday.
Yeah, hopefully there's one when I get back from holiday. So that was a crisis that I know most women can understand. And as you get older and there's less of your body that you want to expose in the summer, something that was so important. It was so important. Anyway, yeah, you take people straight back to the trauma.
Okay, so that was that crisis.
Yeah.
And then I had a crisis. I had a couple of crises, actually.
You did, yeah.
Well, actually, let's talk about the Insta camera thing first. Actually.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
We bought an Insta 360.
We have.
To video, the idea being we'd video loads of stuff on the bike.
Yeah.
Using this amazing 360 camera technology, blah, 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 blah. Got it all literally a couple of days before the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'll take it out for a practice ride on the Harley, my own one at home.
Yeah.
Took it out, attached to the front of the bike. Yep, all worked. It was filming fine. got to a petrol station, changed it over, clipped it onto the back of the bike, went back home. The thing fell off.
You hadn't even noticed.
I only noticed it fell off, got run over by a car.
Did it actually get run over by a
Yes.
car? The actual camera?
Yes, that's how the lenses got so badly scratched. Then I had to circle back on myself to find this thing lay in the middle of the bloody road, which it was still filming, by the way. And the lens on one side in particular was completely fucked, wasn't it? And I had to order replacement lenses pronto on Amazon, get them the next day.
Yeah.
So that was like, oh shit! We've got this brand new 500 quid camera thing, and it's broken, and I've fucked it up. So that was another problem. And then having only got the Aston back from the garage, because it had been in the garage 2 months being repaired for a golf ball incident, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That came back literally a week and a bit before the holiday. Very happy with it. Looked lovely. They delivered it back with one residual issue, which was a tyre pressure sensor failure. But I was like, okay, fine. It's misreading the tyre pressure on the rear left. Who cares? Not a big deal. Wrapped the car up, put the cover on it. Thought it was lovely. My son came home that weekend because I was getting him out of uni. We were doing an M1 shuttle up and down from Nottingham to get him out of uni and retrieve all his belongings. And I proudly unveiled the Aston after he'd come back from the garage. He took one look at it and said, "That's great, Dad, but why is there a big crack in your front windscreen?" And we were like, what the fuck? There was an 8-inch crack in the front windscreen, which we hadn't even noticed because from some angles you couldn't see it.
No.
So then we had a crisis about, oh God, are we going to be allowed to even drive the car?
Will it be insurable?
Had to get it back to a dealership for them to pronounce, yes, it is road safe, but we'll have to book you in for a repair to replace the front windscreen when you get home. And then the next day, the emission system light came on, going emission system service.
Oh, yeah.
One of the oxygen sensors has gone. Called the garage. They were like, it's okay. You can still safe drive. Okay, fine. Next day, the alarm system light came on. It's like, for fuck's sake. Anyway, we concluded in the end that it's still safe to drive. There's just a bloody Christmas tree of fucking lights on the dashboard that you just have to try and ignore.
And then at our first stop, we stopped, we had lunch on the way down on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we came back to the car and Kev couldn't open the door of the car and contemplated, we could open the boot and contemplated climbing in through the boot. So that would have meant opening the boot, unpacking absolutely everything, and then squeezing himself into a very small part across the top of the parcel shelf to the front of the car in a car park. Where were we?
We were in Epinay.
Epinay, right. So then we was going to do that in a car park on a Sunday. And it was blistering hot sunshine.
It was baking hot.
And because he thought the alarm wasn't working, but what actually was it?
I pressed the wrong button. So I kept pressing the door close button, not the door open button. Yes. And apparently that doesn't work. So that was that. And then also, literally on the way down, we were getting emails from the Harley dealer down here saying, oh, the bike you've rented in 2 days' time, the bike you've rented has just been involved in an accident and it's no longer available. So we could offer you something else, but it's not the same model and it's not the same range. So then we had a complete panic attack on the way down about, oh shit, we've packed luggage in certain size pannier bags to go in panniers that were a certain size. Is this new bike going to be too small? Can you send me photographs? Blah, blah, blah. So until the day before, we were potentially cancelling the whole bike trip.
Well, we didn't know, did we? It wasn't until the day before. It's till we got there. We decided actually we need to have a look
because they were shut on the Monday. So I emailed them expecting a response on the Monday. Nothing. We had to just pitch up on the Tuesday morning and go, oh, fuck, what is the bike? Does it work? And as luck would have it, it turned out to be good. But anyway, so that was a whole kind of bunch of hiccups, which last minute meant... something is not going right here. We've got a problem every single day. There's a new problem that's a threat to the holiday. Anyway, eventually we got on the shuttle.
We did.
We drove down here. And on that driving thing, so one of the things we sort of discovered is that actually I've been a bit ambitious on the route mapping. So the first 2 days were 500 miles every day.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of driving.
Yeah, we had an incident.
That's a lot of driving.
Fell asleep.
So that turned out to be really tiring. And then when I started the bike stuff, I mean, we were doing like a couple of 100K in the morning, because it's over here, kilometres, not miles, a couple 100K in the morning, a couple 100K in the afternoon. And that with
a map system that you couldn't operate.
With a sat nav on the bike that I didn't
we got lost a couple of times.
So we did get lost a couple of times. But this whole kind of like road trip tour thing, which we were doing at the time, certainly for the first 5-6 days. We were, driving, stay somewhere, drive, stay somewhere, change to a bike, stay somewhere, move, stay somewhere. So it was kind of like, it was quite frenetic, and you were always on the go, and you were always somewhere new, which made it quite exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually felt, after about 5-6 days, it felt like we had 4 holidays.
Yeah, it did, because we were staying in different places.
We stayed in so many different places and engaged in so many different modes of transport. You kind of thought, how many holidays are we having? This is like every day is a new experience.
Yeah.
So it was actually quite exciting, but bloody tiring.
Bloody tiring and bloody hot. And I had made a decision that I was going to wear a leather jacket. I value my skin. I value my skin even in the sort of like being completely burnt in the sun. And also, should we have an accident, just the thought of scraping skin across ground and gravel just wasn't it. So I was incredibly hot. But even though we had some challenges in terms of getting lost, being too hot, not being able to operate the Insta 360.
Yeah.
We didn't fall out, did we?
No, we didn't. No.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's hard work on some days, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we also had, I don't know what happened to the weather, but I mean, obviously you've been having stinking hot weather at home in the UK. It's actually marginally hotter in the UK than it is in the south of France, actually. So we've normally been in the sort of 30 to 32 range over here for the last week and a half. And it's been up to 35 in London. So,
weird.
But one thing we did have here, which was an absolute bastard on the way from Ile-sur-la-Sorgue to Montpellier, and then, no, I'm thinking about the wind. From Ile-sur-la-Sorgue down to Montpellier and then to
we had a whole
Bandol.
load of rain as well.
Well, we did get rained on. So we got rained on. We got rained on, which was quite funny. Rained on in 32 degrees.
But horizontal rain.
Horizontally in your face. From Valençol to Gordes.
Yeah.
And I thought about, do I stop and put a jacket on?
You didn't have a jacket.
Well, no, but I thought about it. I thought about the context. And I thought, if I had a jacket, would I put it on now? And I thought, fuck it, no.
Too hot.
So it's too hot. And sure enough, we just carried on riding. And it's so bloody hot.
Yeah.
By the time we got to Gordes, I was dry.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a problem. But when we were coming from Ile-sur-la-Sorgue down to Montpellier and then down to Bandol,
oh my God,
there was some insane wind in France that week. It was absolutely mental. And we are talking like life-threatening gusts. I actually thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to stack it.
When I thought, I'm going to have a neck like Lewis Hamilton.
Joe was on the back.
I was on the back. And the talk was the actual amount of G-force on my neck was unbelievable. I was like, my head was going like that, and I thought, first of all, I'm going to be really, really stiff across the neck and the shoulders.
So for that entire day, we had winds that were at a low 30 kilometres per hour, and gusting to 50.
Yeah, it was.
And there were times that we changed lane,
just
because the bike got blown.
Yeah,
like literally, I was holding on for grim death.
My head down behind you, so I didn't fall
So that was hard work.
Yeah, it was really
that was hard work. But and I'd also booked a lot of dinners. I booked a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, I don't know. He must have been really hungry when he organised his holiday.
And by about 4 days in, you had had enough.
I'd had enough.
And you were like, we'd had 2 5-course menu degustation from Michelin level restaurants in the case of about 3 days. And I was like, I've got another one booked tomorrow. And you're like, no. So we ended up starting cancelling meals because I'd booked so many. Yeah. And we were kind of overfeeding a bit. Completely
overfeeding. And that was, I thought if we'd done 2 weeks of that, it'd been like 6 kilos overweight. So yeah, it was a bit.
But nevertheless, that whole itinerary of going through Poligny-Montrachet,
lovely.
Down to Saint-Rémy de Provence, the overnight stay at Provence near Fréjus, and seeing François and Jackie, which were some friends of ours down here, which we were very, very lucky to be able to get out to dinner with. All the way through into Valençol, Gordes, Ile-sur-la-Sorgue, Montpellier, Grand
I'm going to draw a map for you so you can have a look at where we've been. If you're
Bandol, amazing. I mean, amazing sort of budget boutique hotel on the beach in Bandol. That was, by the time we finished all of that, and we were back, so it's a week, only a week, wasn't it?
It was a week, It was a week travelling.
And then we got back into the car to come down to the villa. We felt like we had a million holidays. Yeah. A million, and with completely different, unique and fantastic experiences. We, despite some of the challenges and some of the weather condition stuff, we had great nights. We had great stays in hotels.
We did.
We had some fantastic time at the beach of Bandol.
We did.
And the No, we're not Camilla Monte. Say the Lille de Leos, that hotel
At Ile-sur-le-Sorgue.
in Ile-sur-le-Sorgue was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely
lovely.
fantastic.
Truly lovely.
Fantastic. And everybody let us park the Harley and whatever, and that was
Yeah,
all fine. Parking
really
the
nice.
car and parking the Harley was a piece of cake.
So now we're at the villa.
Now at the
that's like a
villa,
slow
just
down.
south of Saint-Tropez.
Well, it's a slow down and it's lovely.
Yeah, so we cancelled a few meals.
We have cancelling meals.
We thought,
Yeah.
right, okay, we need to. It's been a little bit high octane.
On the meal front, absolutely.
Well, not just that, but the rate of activity had changed everywhere. So by the time we got here, the fact that you're actually stationary somewhere, and you go, oh, I don't have to pack my bag tomorrow and drive somewhere else.
Had to be, but I've had to cull the schedule.
Yeah, so
like
Joe's cancelled a few activities, unfortunately.
I'm not, unfortunately, we're on holiday. God's sake, so I get up at 7 o'clock every morning.
She doesn't sleep that well, and so my brilliant ideas about getting up and doing dawn paddleboarding and whatever got
vetoed.
As did should we go for like a dawn, 5K walk?
Oh,
along
hang
the
on a second.
coastline?
Who forgot their shoes? You forgot you can't go.
Well, I did forget my Nike shoes.
So we couldn't have
Out of
gone.
all the packing, I forgot my Nike trainers. I've got
So
a bunch
you're
of
on
Nike
the
gear,
packing.
no Nike trainers.
Go back to the packing.
But I could wear other shoes.
We've definitely overpacked, that's for sure. We've definitely overpacked. Even though Kev wrote a list of outfits that he was going to wear every night, you did throw in some just in case clothes, as did I.
Yeah, we did.
And he forgot his list, so we haven't actually managed that one particularly well. I still think we could probably have come out with half the amount of clothes that we bought.
Quite possibly.
Definitely.
And if we look back on some of the things that before we came on holiday, we said we thought we'd look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some things that we didn't even think about looking forward to that have turned out to be brilliant.
Yeah.
But I remember saying I was looking forward to seeing Francois and Jackie at
that was
France dinner, and that was lovely. That was absolutely lovely to be able to see a couple of friends of mine who I've been friends with now for 20 years this summer. It would have been.
Yeah.
So that was lovely to have the opportunity to see them. But also Château de la Massardière, which we'd been sort of bigging up. So that's a massively 6-star hotel where they are actually filming. We were driving through Saint-Tropez the other night.
Well, after we'd been
to Château de la Massardière, and they were filming White Lotus in the middle of Saint-Tropez as we drove through.
Yeah, they were.
And that is the new series White Lotus, which doesn't come out till next year, is set at Château de la Massardière. Just outside Saint-Tropez, and we had dinner booked there at the Nobu Matsuhisa restaurant.
It was lovely. It was lovely.
And that was a ridiculously impressive venue. I mean,
Very.
I don't think I've ever
Views,
been.
the service, how the top 0.1% live.
I think it's up there with the Hotel du Cap Eden Rock.
Yeah.
If not, I mean, it's up there.
It's gorgeous. It is
and
gorgeous.
We videoed the way in because we drove in the Aston, which was the only way to arrive really at a place like that. And we were outclassed immediately because the fleet of courtesy vehicles outside the front of the hotel is a courtesy set of Rolls-Royce Cullinans.
Absolutely.
Like a fucking fleet of Rolls-Royce Cullinans. They're about 350 grand each.
We look like we're in a smart car.
And the Aston was tiny compared. But anyway, but that was a thing. And there was some sort of model shoot going on at the hotel. Because when we were wandering around going to a different bar at the hotel after dinner, there were just
loads of young girls being
Insta influencer, sort of Gen Z models everywhere, just photographing themselves and going, what the hell is this all about? Yeah. This place is rammed with 19-year-old girls. What the fuck is going on? No idea.
Says the old man.
Idea.
I wasn't.
They certainly weren't paying the bill, that's for sure.
No.
Anyway.
So, but we also had another little bit of a hiccup, didn't we? Just before we left, the day before we left, you took you had a meeting.
I did. So, over and above all of that frenetic activity, the other thing that was kind of quite significant and has changed somewhat the nature of this holiday.
Yeah, it has a bit. Yeah.
Was that the day before we went on holiday, I actually was made redundant. So, I am serving my notice now. And that is probably it for my working career. So that I kind of knew it was coming. Yeah. Kind of knew it was coming, but when it actually happens on the day, it's quite a big thing. So,
you'd been put at risk, so you knew there was a chance.
Yeah, I'd been put at risk about a month earlier.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, when that actually happens, and I've been made redundant a number of times before, so it's not the first time. But in the industry that I'm in, financial markets, it's a high risk industry. That stuff happens all the time. First time it happened to me was when I was 29.
Yeah, but you're
First time I got
62
fired.
now, aren't you?
No, I know. So it's happened
Yeah.
a variety of times. I think 4 times now. I think about 4 times.
So why is this one so different?
Well, only because when it happens to you when you're younger, you go, "Yeah, fine, okay, I'll just move on. I'll get another job." Blah blah blah. You know, and you just roll with it, right? First time was hard. First time you get made redundant is hard because you take it incredibly personally, right? And you assume that it's something about you. But and that first time was really hard. I remember that happened like 3 months before my 30th birthday, and I really, really struggled with that one. But then having got over it, when it happened again when I was about, how old was I? I was 34, 35, the next time it happened. And you kind of go, oh yeah, oh that shit. Yeah, okay, I remember. How much? Tell me, you know, where do I sign? I'll go get another job. And then it happened again when I was like 43.
Okay.
But again, you go, okay, right, I'm hitting my stride now. I'm in the center of my career path. Okay, fine. Next, move on.
Yeah.
But then when it happens when you're nearly 63, you kind of go, okay, have I really got the heart to start this all over again? And the short answer is probably no.
Well, the thing is though, what you've been doing is preparing yourself and your team for the fact that you will be retiring at some stage.
I have. I've been sowing those seeds for a couple of years.
Those seeds. So ever since you've been 60, you've been talking to people about your age, because that's the first time people have actually known exactly how old you are when you turn 60, which surprised me that you were telling everybody. But you then said, I need to prepare them, but I also need to prepare myself. And now that you've done that and you prepared them and everybody knows that you were looking to retire, the impact that it's had on you, they are totally unaware of. Because they think this is what you wanted. Even though you were only there for a day, people have said, oh yeah, well, you know, congratulations, this is what you want, but you're looking forward to it.
And it happened on the Friday, and no one's seen me since, because I've been on holiday.
So you've had a couple of people talk to you on the day about it, and then that's it. And no one's going to understand the impact actually there, even though you've been preparing yourself. You're not ready.
Mine to live with, not theirs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but at that age, my reflection would be at 60, nearly 63. So for me, I'm 39 years in this particular industry. So this particular exit for me is probably the last exit.
Yeah.
And that's the end of a working life that I've had since I left uni, right? So I've been in the same industry for that 39-year period.
Yeah.
I've been commuting up to London, to originally the old city where I started, before they maxed out Canary Wharf. So I was probably in the old city till 2007. So 20 years pretty much in the old city, and then since then I've been in the Wharf, Canary Wharf. So that whole sort of habit, going to work, going up there, you're not going to be doing that, right? So that's going to finish. Now, because of that, by a bit of good luck, if you like, I happened to buy the week before I came on holiday this book, which is entitled "Early Retirement Wanderlust."
Who's it by?
It's written by Richard and Jackie Pickles, who are actually a couple of teachers who retired in their 50s and have got the travel bug and are living in a camper van, driving around the world, blah, 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 blah. Now, I have no desire to go and live in a camper van, by the way. So that's not why I bought the book. But a lot of the things they talk about in here, about the emotional process of preparing yourself for retirement. I mean, obviously there's money issues to sort out. You've got to do your financial planning, and that's job number one when I get back. But there's a lot of other stuff which is really interesting. And I just want to read a quote for you, actually, which is a really good quote about how they position early retirement, which by definition, by the way, I allegedly am doing.
You are, yeah.
Because
definitely.
I'm not
67.
in receipt of state pension until 67.
Yeah.
So So here's the quote, right? Early retirement is not really about stopping work. It's about creating the space to live more deliberately and to spend more time with the people that you care about and pursue the interests that energize you and design a life that feels meaningful to you on your own terms. So I quite like that. And there are quite a lot of things they talk in there. We talk through questions.
Yeah, there's a list of questions at the end of every chapter, isn't there?
Big
So
list of questions.
we've gone through some of those.
There's little worksheets and shit.
Yeah.
I've done some because obviously being a project manager, if you give me a big table at the end of a chapter, I'll fill that shit in.
Perhaps we could go through the book a little bit later in another episode or something. Perhaps we could go.
We can do, but there's a bit in there that I do want to talk about, which is the friendship section, right? Because they talk about the fact that obviously a lot of your situational relationships when you're working all the time are work based, right?
Yeah.
So when you finish work, those friendships don't necessarily exist in quite the same form anymore because you're not there every day, you're not talking to each other, and so on and so on. So it does ask about, have a think about how many of those relationships are really viable outside of work. What can you take with you? And on that theme, we were talking about this the other night. It just occurred to me, having thought about that, because I started to list things out about people I knew who were either I only knew through work or I knew had already retired, maybe, because I'm not the only person who's been made redundant, right, in the last couple of years. So even in our social group, we know a few, right? But it suddenly occurred to me that even at my 60th birthday party a couple of years ago,
everybody's from work.
I kind of had like 24 of my closest friends, as it were, gathered around some tables. Apart from family, there was a couple of family there. And there was a couple of people that I have known, well, one since childhood, a couple in my 20s that were friendships I formed in my 20s.
That was it? The rest of friends?
Everybody else, every other person in that room, I had met through work in the last 39 years. Through one of the institutions that I've worked at.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't really thought about that before. I hadn't really considered. Probably, I mean, if you think about it, maybe it's not surprising because apart from when you're asleep at home, you're spending 90% of your time at work, right? So most of the people you're going to meet in your working life are going to be people from work. Now, we have started to make some friendships outside of work ourselves deliberately in the last few years as a bit of an insurance policy to this kind of life transition.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, if I look at my 60th birthday, at that point in time, everybody was ex-work. And they were either at the bank I'm working for now, or they were from previous institutions that I'd worked for. And we'd built relationships up, done things outside of work as a result of that. But the point is, that's how you met people. And so one of the big things they talk about there, which we've kind of known for a while, but is just worth reinforcing, is that when you've got a significant life transformation like this, you're going to have to decide in the context of your new life, which relationships can survive that transition. Some will, some won't. But also you've got to decide how and what efforts are you going to make to create new relationships. And to because you're not dead yet, right?
And to resurrect old relationships.
And to resurrect old relationships as well. Yeah. So that's a really interesting thing. But there's a million other questions in there which I haven't fully answered all of them yet about what you actually want your purpose in life / framework in life to be, your raison d'etre in a post-work or post-employment context. So that whole issue of what does retirement mean to you, which is a deeply personal thing for everybody, and everyone's got a different answer.
You're still you've just started.
I'm just starting that journey. I'm starting that journey.
And I think we should bring some more to the podcast at later stages as well as you go through that journey. I think it'd be good because I need to go through it too.
Yeah, and it did ask about relationships. Obviously, your partner, right? Because it talks a lot there about with all of this newfound time, etc. What things are you looking to do? What things would you look forward to doing more of with your partner? And what things would you look forward to doing more of on your own? So, I mean, that is an interesting balance too, right? About
Absolutely.
shared activities versus isolated activities. Because needless to say, my TikTok feed's been stuffing me with this kind of stuff
I'm sure that's
all week, right?
Yeah.
Including women who are absolutely dreading the retirement of their husband
Oh, wow. Okay.
because they've been married 35 years or something.
And don't want him
they're
at home.
Yeah, and they're going, oh my God, I can't bear the thought of spending all that time with him. Luckily, we're not in
We're
that
not there,
situation.
no. But we need to together go through that as well, because we started the chat, but I'm going to cut it short now because we've been going for quite some considerable time, and I think the topic.
I do think we should film more podcasts out here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's stay here.
This is our new holiday studio.
Yeah, absolutely. This is our studio. But I think as we go through the book and as you go through the sort of stages of retirement and stuff, I think there's a lot to be said. Oh, there's my piece of paper. A lot to be said. I forgot to introduce the podcast, but hopefully for those of you that made it to the end, you will remember that this is When the Fuck Did I Become Old? The fun, edgy and unapologetically honest podcast about the experiences of aging, whereas the name suggests, nothing is off the table. Please like, follow, share us. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, etc. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.